Dreaming of owning your own home but feel like saving for a down payment is impossible? Imagine saving £12,000 in under a year. I did it, and today I'm going to be revealing every trick and strategy that I used to make it happen. So whether you're just starting or you are stuck in your savings journey, these tips could be the breakthrough that you've been waiting for. Let's get you closer to your dream home. Hello, welcome back. If you are here, you're probably dreaming of owning your own home, just like I was. And if you are thinking that saving a large deposit in less than a year sounds impossible, I get it. But I'm here to show you how I saved £12,000 in under 12 months to make my dream home a reality. So today I'm going to be breaking down the exact steps, budgeting tips, and even the mental hacks that got me from saving zero to hitting that big goal. So grab a notepad, get comfortable, and let's dive into some seriously game-changing money saving strategies. Now first, let me quickly share a little bit about my motivation to save. I'd been dreaming of having my own home for years, but life expenses always seemed to get in the way. Then one day I decided enough was enough. I wanted that freedom and sense of accomplishment that comes with owning your own place. And that's when I committed to saving £12,000 in a single year. To be honest, it wasn't always easy, and I definitely had to make some changes to my lifestyle. But I'll be sharing everything that I learned along the way, from the budgeting tools I used to the specific habits that kept me on track. So let's get into the first step, which is setting a realistic savings goal. I knew I wanted to save £12,000, so I broke it down into monthly targets. So that meant saving about £1,000 each month. And to make this happen, I needed a clear budget. So I used a budgeting app to track my income, my expenses, my savings, and I categorized every expenses like bills, groceries, entertainments, so I could see where my money was going and what I could cut back on. And let me tell you, having this visual actually made it so much easier to stay accountable. Now, if you want to save a large amount in a short time, you need to break down your goal into achievable monthly chunks. Having that number in front of you makes it feel more possible, and it's way less overwhelming. All right, so once I had my budget, I knew I had to cut down on expenses. But here's the thing, I didn't just want to deprive myself. I wanted to spend smarter. So first, I took a look at my subscriptions. I canceled anything that I wasn't using regularly, and I swapped my expensive swimming lessons for at-home workouts. Then I started to do something I call mindful shopping. So every time I felt the urge to buy something non-essential, I'll ask myself, do I really need this, or is it just a want? Another big saver for me was meal prepping. By planning my meals each week, I cut down on food waste and I avoided pricey last-minute takeouts. Trust me, the savings added up fast. These small changes in your daily routine can make a massive difference over time. Also, you may consider downsizing. This means moving from a 3-bedroom flat or house to a 2-bed or somewhere less costly in order to help you save more. Next up, I focused on boosting my income. I realized that cutting costs was only half of the battle. I needed to find ways to earn a bit more in order to reach my goal faster. Now for you, this may mean changing to a higher earning job or taking on a second job, a freelance job or a side hustle. So you can actually freelance in your spare time, and you can offer various skills that you have, such as graphic design, writing, social media management, and so on. And you can do that on sites such as Fiverr. Another thing that you can do is that you can sell items that you no longer need, and you can sell them on sites such as eBay, Vinted, and so on. Honestly, you will be surprised how much cash you can make from selling the things that you don't use anymore, such as clothes, your gadgets, and even books. Now, if you have a skill or a side hustle that you can develop, I highly recommend that you take out a few hours every week to hone these skills. And by doing this, you can actually increase your income every week, every month. Even small amounts add up when you are consistent. And who knows, you might even discover a passion that turns into something bigger than you ever expected. However, as you do this, please make sure not to overstretch yourself. Remember that your physical and mental health is more important. Saving for months can feel like a grind, especially when you are making sacrifices. So I found a way to keep my motivation up, which is a reward system. So every time I hit a small milestone, like saving 3,000 or 6,000 pounds, I treat myself to something small and meaningful. Now, this doesn't mean blowing my budget. It could mean something simple like a coffee from one of my favorite cafes or a movie night. Now, having these little rewards made the process fun, and I actually looked forward to each milestone. So really, if you are feeling a bit burnt out on your savings journey, try setting up mini rewards. It keeps things fresh and motivating. Now, let's talk about where to put your money. To make my savings work for me, at first, I used a high interest savings account on my bank app. I use Monzo, by the way. It might not sound exciting, but earning even a small amount of interest each month really does add up over the year. And some accounts even offer cash bonuses for opening or keeping a certain balance. So be sure to research options that give you a bit extra. Now, this way your money grows passively while you continue saving. And trust me, when you see the interest add up, it gives you an extra boost of motivation that is highly needed. Now, still in this line, an important account that I will recommend for you to open is the Lifetime Individual Savings Account, also known as LISA or LISA. This is a savings scheme that gives you 25% of whatever you put in a tax year. This account is only available to individuals between the ages of 18 years and 40 years, and this saving can only be used for your first home or for retirement. Now, there are some restrictions that apply to withdrawing from your LISA account, and you may lose your bonuses and even some of your savings if you withdraw earlier than a year. And I'm going to be leaving more details in the description box below, so check it out. Another great way to realize your dream of owning your own home within a year is to engage in thrift savings. If you are from African or Asian background, you will understand what this means. But if you are not, this is actually a method of saving in which multiple individuals come together with the aim of saving a particular amount together, and then they can take turns cashing out. This has helped me a lot on many projects that I've embarked on, and it is something that you can start with trusted people, friends, or colleagues. So after a year of budgeting, cutting expenses, boosting my income, and staying disciplined, I reached my goal of saving £12,000, and the feeling of seeing that balance in my account was unbelievable. And it brought me one step closer to buying my dream home. And honestly, if I could do it, I know you can too. Now, there are a lot of things to know about buying your first home. And if you click on this video, you will learn the step-by-step process of getting your first home in the United Kingdom as an immigrant. Feel free to share in the comment section any other money saving tips you found useful, especially as an immigrant in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you in this video on your screen.